joke that's fresh for you. Laughs and chat, stories unfold from our little group, bold and gold. Sip some coffee, share the vibe. Life's little moments served with style. So lean on in, come what may. Well, I thought it was funny, likes your day.
Good morning, folks. The time is 9:53 a.m. Mountain Standard Time on the 25th of July, 2025. And, of course, we know that that's the 26th for my friends on the other side of the planet there. My friends all over Australia, but you know how I like to say Melbourne? Say it with me. Melbourne! How's everybody doing today? Not just the folks in Australia, everybody. I hope you're all doing fantastic today. My name's Lee. I'm the guy who started the group. Well, I thought it was funny. You folks are you, and you folks are amazing. How do I know that? These groups are amazing. And I say groups because there's two of them. These groups are amazing, and they're only amazing because you folks are here. Before you got here, they were just groups. Now they're amazing groups. So, I mean, that math is pretty easy to do. You brought the amazing folks. Thank you for making these groups as great as they are. And they are great, my friends. Thank you very much. You know, we're getting pretty close to 830,000 members in these two groups. And let's just call it a community. 830,000 members in our community. And I say this every time I make one of these videos. That's more people than a lot of cities have population. So why don't we call us what we are? The funniest city on the internet, population us, funny people in a funny place, making people laugh. You folks make so many people laugh every day. By the hundreds of thousands, we have people coming here every day for the funny stuff. And that's because you're funny. Thank you so very much, folks. Thank you. Oh, and happy Friday. Or happy Saturday, if you're on the other side of the world. You know, like those folks in Melbourne. Yeah, it's Friday here, and hopefully you folks are going to be going into a good weekend if you get a chance to actually enjoy the weekend. If your weekend's already in progress, I hope you're having a great weekend. If you have to work, I hope things are going great there too, you know, because not everybody gets the weekend off. We totally get that. But hope you're having a great day. And yeah, happy Friday or Saturday, depending on where you are. What's going on today, folks? You know, I ask that every day. What's going on? I want to hear about your lives. And then when somebody writes in and leaves a comment on something that's exciting and pretty important that happened in their day, I forget to mention it. Not good, not good. I have to apologize to Rose Glad. Rose Glad commented recently, very recently, on one of the videos when I asked what was going on in their day, you know, in your day, everybody's day. Rose Glad mentioned that there was a tsunami warning that went off in Hawaii and several of the islands, probably all the islands, and you know, wasn't nothing happened. Nobody got hurt there, but still, I didn't mention it, you know, in my next video. So I apologize. I was very remiss. You know, all along the Pacific Northwest got that warning too. Probably other parts of North American coast, Pacific coast. Yeah, so Rose, I apologize. I should have mentioned that when, you know, on my next video after you'd mentioned it. So that happened this week, last week now. Sorry. Well, no. Guess it's Friday. It's not Monday. What's wrong with me? I just said it was Friday. So that happened earlier this week, and I forgot to mention that, folks. That's pretty exciting. I mean, that doesn't happen. Frightening is exciting, folks. So I'm glad everything's okay, though. At least I assume everything's okay. And I shouldn't assume things. You know what they say. Sometimes you're wrong, right? But I do want to know what's happening in your day, and I do want to talk about it, and I will try to stay on top of that stuff. So please, why don't you leave a comment on today's video? Anything about yourself, or your day, your life, you know, hobbies. What do you want to share? Pets. I always want to hear about your pets. Why don't you share a little bit about yourself, whatever you feel like sharing, and maybe we can talk about it tomorrow. I think that would be awesome. I think it'd be fantastic. Just anything. Let's make these videos interesting. And you know how we do that? We talk about interesting people like you. So myself, though, I've got some exciting laundry to do. That's right. After I do this video, I'm going to get doing some laundry. And, well, that's pretty exciting Friday, isn't it? I'm feeling a little rough today. I worked the Calgary Stampeders game yesterday. The Montreal Alouettes were in town. That's CFL football. And I worked that. I really enjoy working those games, except for the fact that that building just hurts my back. How does a building hurt my back? It is a football arena that has no roof over it. So it's exposed to the elements every day of the year, right? And so when you have a building like that, you have to make sure that every surface is slightly angled so that, any water will run out towards the drains and not just pool. So that is great. It's a good design. I mean, you don't want to be sitting there in a pool of water while watching a football game or something like that. But what it's not great for is for somebody that has to stand there for 4 hours or so on that concrete at a weird angle like this. It's tough, and it's especially tough when you've got bad back and suffer from sciatica issues. Yeah, wow, I know. So anyways, I'm feeling a little sore from that today, a little slower than usual, and that's that's saying something. So gonna do some laundry, kind of take it easy. Then I've got to do a little bit of grocery shopping, and I think that's about it. I wish I had more plans today. It's looking like it's going to be a kind of nice day. So that's it for me, my friends. What's going on in your life? Please, please, I implore you, talk to me. Leave a comment on today's video or any of these videos when you're watching. Leave a comment if you want to say what's up in your life, what's going on. You want to share a picture of your cat, your dog, your fish, your tarantula, whatever it might be. I want to hear about it, my friends. So we lost a lot of celebrities this past week, but one that hit close to home for me was Ozzy Osbourne. Growing up in the 1980s there as a tween and teen, I got into 80s metal. I got into that new wave of British heavy metal. But one band that I really got into, and they were before the new age of British heavy metal, for the 80s metal, Black Sabbath. So big fan. I still am a huge fan of Black Sabbath. All eras of Black Sabbath I am a fan of. But that's the original, right? That's the original Sabbath was Sabbath with Ozzy. And well, Ozzy passed away this week. And, it kind of hit me kind of hard. There are a lot of things about Ozzy I didn't like. As a person, in his business dealings and that, but one thing I did like was his music. Well, with Ozzy's passing and the fact that this is a group about, funny stuff, right? And, talking about somebody passing isn't really that funny. I'm going to suggest a couple of movies here. We're not going to go into details about them, but some rock and roll movies. A few of them I'm going to suggest. If you're looking at watching something this week that's funny and maybe in the spirit of Ozzy, One of them I'm going to say is Wayne's World. They've got that 80s rockin' thing down. I know Ozzy's, he started in the 60s, blah, blah, blah. Ozzy's solo career was in the 80s. I mean, still, it went right to just, last year. But his solo career really, really was a thing in the 80s. That was the biggest part of it, right? Wayne's World. There's no Ozzy in the movie, I don't think. There's any Ozzy music in there at all. I could be wrong. It's been several years since I've watched it, but it's a funny movie. That's a movie with that rock and roll spirit. If you want to laugh and maybe think about, Ozzy or something like that, or just have fun watching a rock and roll movie, check out Wayne's World. It's a great choice. Another one, and I want to get the year here. The movie's Airheads. And that movie was from 1994. Brendan Fraser. Sorry, just my hand off the desk there. Brendan Fraser, Adam Sandler, Steve Buscemi. Another freaking awesome cast. Awesome. I think Steve Buscemi's in there. I mean, I don't want to be lying to you, my friends. But yeah, just funny movie about a band that just a metal band. They just want to make it, and they take over a radio station. They just want to get their single, their EP played. Extended play is a few songs. Their demo. That's what they want to get played. Great movie with that rock and roll spirit, And then I think the final one I'm going to suggest this weekend, if you were looking at watching a movie, it doesn't be this weekend, any time. And this one I really, really enjoy. Tenacious D. Actually, I really enjoy all of those movies. Sorry about that. Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny. Now, I know for a lot of people, Jack Black is an acquired taste. I think Jack Black is amazingly hilarious. I think he's a great actor. And I think he has got one of the best voices out there. And he sings a lot, but it's kind of underutilized in the fact that you don't hear him sing a lot of serious stuff. Tenacious D. It's like the creation of the band Tenacious D, which is Jack Black and Kyle Gage, I believe, KG. Sort of the mythos of this band and how they came to be, and really, real spirit of that 80s metal in there. They got Ronnie James Dio in there. Yes, I know Ronnie James Dio and Ozzy did not get along for many reasons, but they're still part of that Black Sabbath. They're still part of Black Sabbath, right? The core of Black Sabbath. They're the two main singers for Black Sabbath, you ask me. So, those are some movies I might suggest if you're looking for some funny rock and roll movies to watch that are kind of in that rock and roll spirit, that metal spirit of Ozzy. Airheads, just fantastic. Wayne's World, another great one. And Tenacious D. Check them all out, my friends. Have a movie weekend. Maybe it's raining or something like that, or maybe it's 110 degrees out and it's too hot to go outside. Check out a rock and roll movie this weekend, folks. I think that would be awesome. I'm going to. Maybe you will too. So, just my suggestion for a few movies this weekend if you're looking at laughing and rocking at the same time. Time to feature a couple of posts. A couple of posts that made me laugh this morning. I try to do that every video. Sometimes I run out of time or something's messed up. But today I do have a couple of posts. They are from, let's take a look, Chris Bambury and Mike Miller. That's right. 2 posts today from folks that I do not believe I've ever shared any of their stuff before. Kind of cool. I like that. Now let's start off with Chris Bambury's. I've got it ready to go here. And I'm going to let you read that. And hopefully you've heard the term horse-drawn carriage. If you haven't, that's not a funny meme, of course, but I have, and it made me laugh. Chris, thank you very much. You've made me laugh. You made a lot of people laugh. Hopefully, I'm not the only one that laughed at this. Really appreciate that, Chris. I'm going to give a few more seconds there. All right, I'm going to drop that one down. Now, the next one, as I said, is from Mike Miller. Let me bring that up right away here. Saw this the other day. Made me laugh. Saw it this morning again. Made me laugh again, and I remembered. I said, oh, yeah, I wanted to share that one. It's stupid, but it's funny. Hopefully I'm at least that. Oh my gosh, thanks Mike, thanks Chris, we really appreciate that. I mean, if you make me laugh, I'm sure you made some other people laugh. I'm pretty easy to make laugh, but at the same time, you did make me laugh, and I can't be the only one that found these funny. Thanks for making me laugh, thanks for making a lot of other people laugh. Folks, thank you to everybody for your funny posts. That's why we have so many people in these groups. It's because it's a funny community. You made these places just hilarious. And we really appreciate that. I mean, why would you come to a meme place and stay if it wasn't funny? Thank you for doing that, my friends. All right, so let's see what's happening. Of course, I started off. I told you what the time was when we started recording this. A little later than yesterday, but not as late as it's been other days. Told you the date, and the date on the other side of the planet for our friends in Australia. And say it with me, my friends in Melbourne. Screw it. And then I asked about your day. I told you about my day. I complained about being sore from my day yesterday. Apologized to Rose Glad because, I asked about your day. I want to talk about your day. And she did do that. And she told us some exciting things. Exciting thing about a tsunami alert that, thankfully turned out to be, nobody got hurt or anything of that. But I forgot to talk about it. And then, so that's bad. So I apologize for that. I'll try to be better in the future. And then after that, I talked to you about some rock and roll movies. Wayne's World, Airheads, and Tenacious D, The Pick of Destiny. Why don't you watch some rock and roll funny movies this week? Rest in peace, Ozzy. Then from there, featured a couple of funny posts. One from Mike Miller and the other one from Chris Bambury. Thank you, folks. Thank you to all you folks for your funny stuff. Then we get to here where I go, oh, where am I? What happened? Then I figure it out. And then I usually say, it's time for the bad jokes. I was watching an episode of Australian MasterChef when the audience clapped when the chef made meringue. I was kind of surprised because I always thought Australians boomerang. My life coach just called. I didn't make the team. My wallet is like an onion. Every time I open it, it brings tears to my eyes. I pinned a Timex to the post just outside my house. It's the neighborhood watch. You know what makes me throw up? That dartboard I mounted on the ceiling. I hope you enjoyed the jokes. I mean, I hope you enjoyed the whole video. And I always hope you enjoy the jokes. Now, today, the first 2 jokes I found just as posts. And like I should have wrote down who posted those posts originally. But basically, those posts were jokes. And I used them. So I kind of stole some jokes today. Now, they weren't written by the people who posted them. But at the same time, I should have made note of who actually made those posts. So I apologize if it was your post that those 2 jokes came from. Please admonish me in the comments. I would like to hear. I'll tell you what the jokes were, though. I'll bring them up right now, my friends. It's going to take me a second because, well, I'm not fast. But let's see. That was jokes for today. The Australian MasterChef episode. And my life coach just informed me that I didn't make the team. Those 2 ones I stole right from some posters, some fabulous members of the group. It wasn't intentional. I just forgot to write down the name. So correct me. Let me know who it was. The next 3, though, I know where I got them from. I got them from this book, Dad Jokes, the cheesy edition from @DadSaysJokes. That's that @ Dad Says Jokes. On Instagram, on Facebook, probably on X. I'm not sure. I don't deal in that garbage spot. But anyways, got the jokes from there. Fantastic books. This is my 3rd of their books that I've purchased. I'm almost through it, and great stuff. Go and subscribe to them. I'm not affiliated with them, but I can appreciate good jokes, and they provide good jokes. So thank you very much to the folks at Dad Says Jokes. And you know what, folks? I want to tell your jokes. You must have a couple of jokes that you think are funny. Why don't you send them to jokes@wellithoughitwasfunny.com. And if I use your joke, I'm going to thank you for your joke. Just like I thank my buddy Dave Knapp. He sends in jokes all the time. I thank him all the time for those jokes. You send in a joke, I use it, I thank you. That easy. And if I forget, you give me crap in the comments. Send your jokes to jokes@wellithoughitwasfunny.com. And if you are up to it, why don't you try recording a joke and sending that in? Audio, video, whatever it might be. Record yourself telling a joke. Send that to that same place, jokes@wellithoughitwasfunny.com. And maybe I'll use that in one of the videos. What I'd really like to do one of these days is introduce the video and then have, say, 5 or maybe 10 jokes from 10 different people like you. Have you folks telling your jokes. That'll be the joke segment. Let's do it. Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be great? Do me a favor if you can. Try to make somebody laugh today. And please, this is just as important as making somebody else laugh. Try to find something that makes you laugh. You know, if you need to hunt it down, hunt it down. Maybe you'll find it in the group. Maybe it'll be in one of those movies I suggested. Maybe you'll see something funny on the street. Who knows? Try to find something that makes you laugh, because you deserve to laugh just as much as anyone else. That's what I'm going to ask you. That's the favors I'm going to ask you for. And then now, I'm going to wrap things up. But not before letting you know how amazing you are. Once again, thank you for making us the funniest city on the internet. 800 and almost 830,000 funny people in one place. Funniest city on the internet. So amazing. So it's incredible to say that. It's incredible to say those numbers too. I mean, I was blown away when I had 1,000 people in the group. I was tickled pink when I had 90 people in the group. When I had 90 people in the group, I knew almost everybody in the group. Now I know very few people in the group, when percentage-wise. But I appreciate every single one of you. I really do. These groups wouldn't be funny if it was just me. I mean, they'd be a little funny. I mean, there's some people that find me funny, but nothing like they are right now. And I created the group to make people laugh. And you've made that happen. You've brought that to fruition. That plan has been successful because, well, not because of what I've been posting, because what you've been posting. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Folks, I'm going to be here again tomorrow. Well, maybe not tomorrow. I'll be in the group tomorrow, but I may not be here for a video tomorrow, but I will be for Sunday for sure. And hopefully you will be too. And hopefully we'll have a few new people. That would be fantastic. But even if we don't, we already have the greatest group in the world. We already, we're already the funniest city in the world. And we already got this amazing community. Thank you so very much. Have an amazing day. Have an amazing day tomorrow. And we're going to see you again Sunday. All the love, my friends.
Well, I thought it was funny.
Well, I think it was funny. Well, I thought it was funny.
Well, I thought it was funny.
Well, I thought it was funny.
Well, I thought it was funny.
Well, I thought it was funny.
Well, I thought it was funny.
Well, I thought it was funny.
Well, I thought it was funny.
Well, I thought it was funny.
Well, I thought it was funny.
Well, I thought it was funny.
Well, I thought it was funny.